This video is brought to you by Sailrite. In this video, we're going to be showing you how to make an adjustable dog collar, and we'll also be showing you how to make a dog leash. In this video, we're going to show you all the steps that are required, and we're also going to show you the hardware that Sailrite recommends to make dog collars and dog leashes. A materials list will be found at the end of this video. Let's get started and show you how to make one. We're using a 1-inch nylon webbing, and we're cutting it to size so that the length of it will be 11 inches longer than the dog's neck circumference. By utilizing a Hotknife, we can seal the edges of the webbing so that it will not unravel. Since we've chosen a white webbing, we're going to spruce it up with a decorative ribbon that you can purchase from a craft store. We've cut this decorative ribbon so that it's longer than the length of webbing we cut prior by at least 2 inches so it can wrap around the ends. We also cut that with the Sailrite Edge Hotknife. If you don't have a professional Hotknife like this, you could use a wood burning tool, a soldering gun, or even a lighter. Be careful. Next, we'll simply secure that decorative ribbon in the center of the webbing. We're going to use the double-sided seam stick, part number 129, available from Sailrite. However, you could use pins as well. This double-sided tape has a transfer paper. Peel off the transfer paper and it reveals the glue. Now simply adhere that decorative ribbon in the center of the webbing, leaving approximately 1 inch overhanging so it can wrap around the back side of the webbing. We'll be using the Sailrite LS1 sewing machine and the Deluxe magnetic sewing guide, which acts like a fence on your typical table saw. It helps to guide your work accurately. So we'll position that magnetic guide in the correct position, and then we'll sew a straight stitch, reversing at the beginning to lock our stitch in place all the way down the length of the decorative ribbon, securing it to the webbing. We'll do that to both sides of the ribbon. Now we can install the hardware. We'll first start with the tri-bar adjustable webbing slider. This is available from Sailrite. Insert the webbing as shown here in the video through one side of the opening, over the center bar, and through the opposite side of the opening. The teeth on the webbing slider's outside edges are engaging the top side of the webbing. That's the side with the decorative ribbon. About 1 inch to 1.5 inch of webbing has been folded over on top of itself. Now we'll sew it in place. To secure this in place, we're going to sew a Z. We're going to go sew across and reverse to lock the stitch in place, sew down diagonally, then sew across at the bottom edge, reversing a few times to secure the webbing and also the stitch in place. For dog collars, I like to use a curved buckle. Notice the curve on this buckle? That way it goes around the neck of the dog nicely. These YKK brand curved side release buckles are available from Sailrite. Next, we'll take this female buckle, feed it through the webbing so the underside of the webbing is facing up and the curved side of the buckle is facing the tabletop. Then we'll feed the end of the webbing through the tri-bar adjustable webbing slider over the center bar with the webbing already sewn in place and through the opposite side as shown here in the video. On the opposite end of the webbing, we'll slide the D-ring in place as shown. Sailrite also carries stainless steel D-rings if you choose to use those instead. Now find the male portion of the buckle and slide the webbing through that as well. Feed into the rearmost opening over the center bar and back down the next opening. Notice the curve of the buckle is facing down and the top of the webbing is facing upwards. Go ahead and pull about 2 to 3 inches of the webbing through. This will be used to secure the buckle and also that D-ring. Now we're going to take that over to the sewing machine and we're going to sew that Z-stitch that we sewed earlier in the webbing. We're not going to show this complete process. We're going to sew the Z-stitch to secure the buckle. Then we're going to sew the Z-stitch right behind the D-ring to secure it in place as well. We skipped ahead here, and here's that first Z-stitch. Now we're going to make a Z-stitch right behind that D-ring. We'll not show all of this either. After that's done, trim the extra threads away. Now your dog collar is complete, and it's completely adjustable. Let's go ahead and make a simple dog leash as well using webbing. We're using that same 1-inch nylon webbing for the leash as well. We've cut it to the appropriate length that we desire. There is no right or wrong answer for that. And now we're going to install the decorative ribbon to the top side of the leash, though it can be run on both sides if you choose. We're cutting enough of the decorative ribbon that we can wrap it around both ends by approximately 1 inch. We're going to use that magnetic guide on the Sailrite Ultrafeed LS1 sewing machine, and we're going to sew it in place as we did earlier with the dog collar, down both legs of the webbing with a straight stitch, reversing at the beginning and the end to lock our stitch in place. On the end of the leash, we're going to use the YKK snap hook, swivel, and rotate. As the name implies, it swivels and rotates. We'll feed it on one end of the webbing, doesn't matter which, and then fold the webbing over to approximately 1 inch or 1.5 inch, and then we'll sew a Z stitch. We'll create a stitch here at the bottom, reversing several times. Then we'll do a diagonal stitch up to as close to the swivel as possible, and then sew across there as well, reversing several times to lock the stitch in place. Now simply fold the webbing back on the opposite end approximately 7 inches to 8 inches on top of itself, and then sew a Z-stitch down at the bottom of that to secure it in place. If you're not happy where the next stitch is going to be sewn, you can simply lift the foot, reposition the webbing, and then lower the foot and continue sewing. That's all there is to making this easy and simple dog leash. Coupled together with the dog collar, you now have a matching set. Next up, we're going to show you the materials list that was used to build this dog collar and dog leash. You can pause the video here to study this. Most of these materials can be found at Sailrite. For more free videos like this, be sure to check out the Sailrite website or subscribe to the Sailrite YouTube channel today. It's your loyal patronage to Sailrite that makes these free videos possible. Thanks for your support.